Welcome to this video. This is Jonathan Belcher. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to know you're having a spiritual awakening. Finally, we passed the holiday season now. All of the holidays are behind us. And although it's exciting times, it's a great time to spend with your family, with your friends. It's a great time to share love and unify and appreciate one another. But you ever get to that point where you like, I'm tired of the damn holidays. I'm over it. Let's get back to the regular days again. That's where I'm at right now. So it's back to business. I'm fired up. I'm happy to be dropping this video on you today. I appreciate those of you who have been subscribing to my channel. I appreciate the questions and the hit-ups I've been getting to my email and stuff like that. Keep sending them in, and I'm going to answer a question in this video, how to know you're having a spiritual awakening, because I've been getting this question a lot, and I had a personal experience, firsthand experience with a spiritual awakening, so I think I could definitely talk to you about it and explain to you what you're going to experience, how you're going to come out of it, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because manifestation is something that you can accomplish. You can accomplish manifesting whatever it is that you want. We do it every day, whether we realize it or not. Sometimes, unfortunately, we manifest things that we don't want. I know I do it. We're not perfect, but this content I'll be dropping and I'll be sharing is to help you to manifest the things that you do want. So before we go into that topic at hand today, we're going to start off with our daily affirmation. I am rich. I am financially free. I am financially prosperous. Money flows to me effortlessly and abundantly. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am loved. I am rich. I am financially free. I am financially prosperous. Money flows to me effortlessly and abundantly. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am loved. Say it with me. Say it with me. Say it with me. I am rich. I am financially free. With belief, with authority. I am financially prosperous. Money flows to me effortlessly and abundantly. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am loved. Those are the two most important words right there. I am, because whatever you put after it will be your reality. Whatever words comes after I am is what you're manifesting. That's what you're bringing on to yourself. So in this video, how to know you're having a spiritual awakening. Now, I had started my spiritual awakening a couple years ago. And the reasons for my spiritual awakening, I always think, from my experience, usually you're going to go through some type of struggle and real life pain. You're going to go through some real life pain, and then that's when you're going to realize the onset of some type of spiritual awakening, when it finally clicks to you that things are actually opening up for you, although it may seem like shit is going downhill and shit is going bad, you know. So a couple years ago, I went through a real bad breakup and had a bad experience with a company going out of business that I was a part of. So my income was going bad, my businesses were going bad. So it was just, you know, a lot of things coming together at once that led to a really, really extremely sad period for me. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I got to figure out how to get my mind right. I got to figure out how to get my mind and my spirit right, because I realized that no matter what may be happening on the exterior of our situation, it's really all about what's going on within. Because whatever's going on within is going to be reflected outside of you in life. Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever experienced you feeling good and you going around some people and now they feeling good because you feeling good, or you're in a great mood and you get around some people who, now that they talk to you, they're in a great mood too, and that energy just transfers? You ever been in that situation? So I was in that mind state where it was like, yo, forget the money, forget business, forget, you know, all of this stuff going on in my life. I got to get my mind and my spirit to be in harmony. So the spiritual awakening is going to come. Usually you're going to be experiencing some type of pain. You're going to be experiencing some type of sad trials and tribulations in your life. And I never thought in a million years that it would be something like having to do with love or something like that. But I'll never forget it. One day my mom said to me, she asked me if I've ever gotten my heart broken or something like that. And I was like, nah, I never got my heart broken. At least not to that magnitude, you know what I mean, when you're young or whatever. So, and then it happened. Then I had a real bad breakup, and then it was like the spiritual awakening happened. And then now I'm realizing that everything that happened in my life had to happen for a reason. So that's the next thing I want you to know. I want you to know that the spiritual awakening that you're experiencing, or maybe you're about to experience, or you've been through, because the spiritual awakening process is never really finished, right? It's constantly going on. Even when it starts, you're gonna feel enlightened, like you're getting more knowledgeable about things, you're getting wiser, and maybe you're gonna start questioning things you never used to question before. But after a while, you still gonna be spiritually awakened. It's just now with more wisdom And now when you experience things, you know how to handle it better. That's really the difference. So, but as you go through your life, you constantly learning new things. You're constantly growing. Because if you're not growing on a daily basis, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're just dying. If you're not growing on a daily basis, essentially you're dying. That's really what we're here for as humans, is to reproduce, is to grow, to transform, to get better, to improve. That's really what we're here for. You know what I'm saying? So the spiritual awakening is designed to really, really challenge you. That's what it's going to do. It's going to challenge you and bring out some of your darkest flaws and really have you look in the mirror at yourself and question the things that you want, the things that you believe, the things that you've bought into, the things that you've learned. You're going to start to unlearn it and relearn new things. This is what the spiritual awakening journey is going to be like. So don't think it's all a bed of roses and you walking through a park and you just chilling. It's like a piece of cake. Nah, that's not how it's going to be. That's not how it's going to be. You know, I'm just being honest with you. A real spiritual awakening journey, when you really experience a spiritual awakening, you're going to get a lot of signs from the universe as well. That's the next thing that's going to happen. You're going to start to pay attention to things that you never used to pay attention to. One of those things that I started to realize in my life when I was starting out with my spiritual awakening, and this is what really confirmed it for me, is I kept seeing a certain number over and over again, kind of like repeated numbers. Like no matter where I looked, randomly I would see this number, and I kept seeing it, and this would happen for like months on end, and it wasn't something that I ever noticed before. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm like, yo, I'm not even trying to look at the clock. I'm not trying to look at these repeated numbers, but for some reason, whenever I look over here and I see a number, it's this number. So I kept seeing it, and after a while, the universe sends you these messages, and these messages starts to become like patterns. Have you ever been in that situation? Are you in a situation in your life where you feel like the universe is sending you signs and signals and messages, and right now is the most prominent time for that to happen in life? Why? Because we're in the times of revelations. We in the end times, they say, you know. We in the times of revealing and exposing of truth. So some crazy spiritual things is about to happen in your life and other people's lives, things that you never thought were possible. You know what I'm saying? So realize that you're going to start to experience, you're going to start to notice patterns. The universe is going to start to send you messages. And at first you're going to probably just brush it off and not think it means anything. But it's going to become so noticeable to you that you're going to have no choice but to check it out and look it up. So what I did was I started doing research, and I started, yo, why am I seeing this number everywhere? There's something in my eye right now. There's something in my eye right now. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. Something in my eye right now. It's bothering me. But it'll be all good. We all good. So then I started to realize that number, different numbers that the universe sends you, repeated numbers that you see over and over again, is the universe talking to you. It's the universal language. Because you know that numbers and alphabets have energy. They have energy just like people. Remember, everything I said in the world is energetic. Even numbers, down to words, their energy is energetic. So that's the universe talking to you. When you see repeated numbers, 222, 333, 1111, 911, 444, you looking and you just not even really trying to find it, and you just like randomly running into it. The universe is talking to you. The universe is sending you signs and signals and messages, letting you know, all right, here, stay on track. You're doing the right thing. Keep going. Stay focused. You know, it's going to do that. So, but understand, at first, you're not going to know and realize these messages. But when you undergo the spiritual awakening, things that you never noticed before start to become clear to you. You start to be able to see through bullshit a lot easier. You start to be able to sit there, you watching the news, and you like, that don't make sense right there. I hear what you're saying, media, but that don't make sense right there because I'm intuitive to a new level now because of my spiritual awakening. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's going to be one of the major results you're going to realize from your spiritual awakening. You're going to realize you're going to become more intuitive. You're going to realize maybe your dreams are going to become more vivid. You're going to remember your dreams better. You're probably going to have lucid dreams where you're controlling your dreams. I only had 2 of those in my life. I only had 2 lucid dreams my entire life. There's a lot of people who I know never had that experience ever. I only had 2. So I know that it's an extremely powerful kind of gift, and it's such an extreme level of deep consciousness. You know what I mean? But spiritual awakening, you're also going to experience ups and downs in your emotions. You're going to experience real happy times and real sad times. And really what that is teaching you how to cope with just having a consistent emotion. It's teaching you how to not let the up times and the down times take you there with it. You know what I mean? Because you got people out there who's 1 minute they happy, the next minute they sad, depending on whatever happens on the outside. You got people out there, they driving on the road, they get cut off by some idiot who's driving on the road, and then now their whole entire day they taking out that frustration on people at their job, people at their house, and that don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So the spiritual awakening is gonna get you to a point where you become a little more, you become less attached to things that may rub you the wrong way. So one thing I realized with myself, I started to take things less personal after my spiritual awakening. I started to take things less personal. And I started to look at things more from an objective standpoint, which allowed me to have more compassion. And I think that's real important for business. And for those y'all entrepreneurs out there who's in business and, you know, you focused on making more money, running your own business and stuff, I'm telling you right now, a spiritual awakening will help you. A spiritual awakening will help you. Now, it's not something that you could bring upon yourself. A spiritual awakening usually comes from a realization. And a lot of times it comes from pain and stress. And it comes from pressure. And then that pressure is turned into something great, like a diamond. But the journey, the process of that pressure turning you into the diamond is the spiritual awakening that I'm talking about. So another thing you'll start to realize is that maybe people you used to click with, you're not going to be able to click with them as much anymore. You don't relate to them as much anymore. Maybe you're not doing the same things with them that you used to do because you reached a new level in consciousness. You reached a new level in understanding. So even if people may be separating from you, understand that's also a part of the journey too. And you might be noticing you've been attracting some new kind of people, a new kind of energy, a new kind of spirit, a new kind of, you know, people who you never really thought you would rub shoulders with or talk with. You probably find yourself connecting with those kinds of people more. And this is all from the spiritual awakening. These are the changes that happen. So if you think that making money don't have nothing to do with your spiritual situation, then you're completely wrong, because money is spiritual in itself. Money is spiritual. So another thing with your spiritual awakening, you're going to start to understand things on a deeper level, past just a surface level. So instead of just being about the money, you're going to start to be more about a purpose. You're going to start to be driven by serving. You're going to start to look at things past just, oh, how can I make the next dollar? But how can I make a positive impact on these people? How can I change the world? How can I help other people? And how can we come together and create empires and teach other people to become better and become free? You know, that's the type of thing that starts to cross your mind. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Drop that down in the comment below. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I'm telling you, my friend, you're about to enter into a season of harvest. You're about to enter into a season of reaping benefits past your wildest dreams and blessings past your wildest dreams, but you got to be ready for it. And that's the whole purpose for the spiritual awakening, because if you don't go through that shit, you ain't going to be ready when all the blessings and the abundance start smacking you in the face and hitting you in the bank account. You're not going to really know how to handle it if you haven't been through a spiritual awakening journey. Another thing you might notice with spiritual awakening, you might be a lot more open to knowledge. You might want to read more books. You might find that you're watching more informational documentaries, things, maybe you're watching YouTube videos where you want to learn more, watching videos like this, getting encouraged. And that's all a part of it, because you're seeking better information to make you better for a reason. There's something pushing you to better information. There's something pushing you to better knowledge. And that's all a reason. That's all a journey. Everything is being like knitted in your favor each and every day, manifesting what you want, whether you believe it or not. But the minute you start to become conscious of the universe sending you signs and conscious of that, yo, I am in a spiritual awakening journey process, you start to know how to accept it, and you can embrace it and get the things that you need out of it. Another thing, you might be going through a couple months being ugly as hell in your spiritual awakening. You know, remember me, I had the hair, the afro was crazy. It was growing up to here, you know what I'm saying? I might do that again, who knows? But I'm just telling you, I didn't really give two shits as much about how I looked. It wasn't so much about beauty so much, because I was finding something deeper within myself within that whole time period, and I'm glad I went through that period. Because sometimes we need that to just relax and to really start to take in and understand what's going on around us. once you understand the world around you and you understand your positioning and what you're here to do and how to do it, there's literally nothing that can stop you from getting what you're here to get. There's nothing that can stop you from your destiny, your manifestation, your dreams, your visions. So if you're feeling this video, make sure to share this video with 5 friends or family. I would appreciate if you shared this video with 5 friends or family. Maybe it's a friend that you know who have been seeing repeated numbers. Maybe y'all been talking about spirituality. Maybe y'all been having a spiritual awakening and y'all haven't been knowing if it really is that. Well, this video is letting you know right now that these are the symptoms, not symptoms, I should say the signs of a spiritual awakening, that you having a spiritual awakening. Another thing is you might be more inclined to some alone time. Maybe you want more peace. You know, maybe you find yourself in positions where you gotta be alone. You're forced to be alone. And now you gotta use that time wisely. You know, because it's one thing, you could be alone and not do shit with that time. You could do nothing productive with your alone time, with your time of solitude. But when you go through some shit and you alone and you may be frustrated and upset and you know there's some things that need to be changed about you, your life, your circumstances, you're going to take that alone time and use it in a much powerful way. Because that alone time actually becomes a constructive and a conducive time for where you're trying to go. And if you understand what I'm saying, drop a comment below. Drop a comment below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already done that, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you. Hit the bell button below. The bell button is going to get you notified immediately whenever I drop videos just like this. So after you go through your spiritual journey, right? Because this is what happened to me. After I went through my spiritual journey, I started to have more understanding and more compassion. Meaning that I could look at other individuals going through something and understand that sometimes you can't always do better if you don't know better. You know, the saying is, if you knew better, you do better. If you knew better, you do better. Some people don't know better. Some people don't know better. So then you start to have more compassion and understanding that if those people don't know better, well, maybe it's my job to teach or help them. But maybe it's your job to entertain. Maybe it's your job to sing. Maybe it's your job to act. Maybe it's your job to preach. Maybe it's your job to serve the kids, to be a basketball coach. Whatever it is, figure it out. Figure it out, because that's what the spiritual awakening is going to do. It's going to make you figure it out. It's meant to be hard. It's meant to be tough. It's meant to challenge you. It's meant to give you some type of struggle, because that's the only thing that's going to make you come out of that spiritual awakening on top. So don't take what you may be going through in vain. Don't take that shit in vain. Don't take that shit to heart and think that it's meant to break you. Nah, it's not meant to break you. It's meant to make you. And I understand that say pressure busts pipes. But I know some people who made some strong material out there, some strong metal. You know? Tough situations don't last, but tough people do. Tough situations don't last, but tough people do. So your spiritual awakening is going to be a time of learning. It's going to be a time of receiving from the universe. You're going to become more open to receiving from the universe. Less judgmental. You're going to become more powerful as you start to realize what your gifts are and start to realize that you can be and do anything you want to do in this life. What would you do, where would you go if time and money wasn't an issue for you? What would you be doing if time and money wasn't an issue for you? I want you to ask yourself that tonight and write it down. What would you be doing if time and money wasn't an issue for you? Because all of that is possible. If time and money wasn't an issue for you, how would you live your life? Maybe that's how you should be living now. Maybe that's how you should be living now. All right, without any further ado, this is your boy Jonathan Belcher. All the links that you need. In this video, I just want to let you know how you're having a spiritual awakening, repeated numbers, messages from the universe, more intuition. You're going to notice maybe a change in friends, maybe a change in associates. You're going to notice some depression, some sad times, as well as happy times. And then when you get out of it, not really when you get out of it, because you're never truly out of it, you're constantly learning, right? You're constantly learning as you go through this journey called life. But as you're going through it, you start to feel a feeling of lightness, and that heavy, burdensome feeling you used to feel before, is going to go away. That's in the past now. You're going to feel a feeling of lightness. You're going to feel a feeling of confidence and a feeling of belief where you know you can accomplish everything you've wanted to accomplish. You're going to feel like you know you can attain everything you've always wanted. You're going to literally feel like that. You're going to feel rich. You're going to feel rich on the inside. And that's when you're going to know, damn, everything that I've been through was only happening to make me a better man, a better woman, better whatever, entrepreneur, a better boss. Right now, it's about you just realizing your power, baby. That's all it's about right now, is you realizing your power. Once you do that, everything else, the world is your oyster. Everything else will start to open up for you. Slowly but surely, things will gradually start to open up for you. And as you pay attention, you're going to start to know how to consciously manifest and speak your world into existence and think your world into existence and act your world into existence as things starts to go your way and starts to flow, because it's just like a flow, a consistent flow. And no matter if things are up or things are down, your emotion, you got to stay disciplined. You got to stay consistent. You got to stay focused on your mission and on the prize consistently the whole way through. No matter if you're in an up period or down period, things are going great, things are going bad, it don't matter. You keep your game face on. You keep your poker face on. You keep on the inside, you're supposed to still feel that feeling of lightness or indifference to the situation, where you detached enough to where you can still stay focused in a storm. You can still stay focused in a storm. This is Jonathan Belcher. Share this video with 5 friends or family. I would appreciate that if you share this video with 5 people you know. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to see you at the top. Peace.